Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast. I am your host, Ali Aruda. Thanks for being here. And you guys, I have to say, I'm kind of obsessed with podcasting. I just got back from a few really high vibe days in Arizona with one of my besties, and I am just buzzing. I have had a really exciting and crazy and very full start to the month of September. And I was saying this actually in Arizona to a few friends there, and even since I've been home, is that I knew that was coming. I intentionally packed it full of events and experiences that I was curating here at home, but also that I was lining up when I went to Arizona. And I had a big, huge event on the Thursday evening, Women Inspiring Women. I cannot wait to dive into that. But then I intentionally chose to leave the next morning to fly to Arizona. And was I tired? Yeah. Am I still tired? Yeah. But that's okay because I made that choice and I knew, I don't really want to use the word consequences, but I knew what the outcome would be. And I also knew that I would be running off of adrenaline and energy when on the flight and getting to Arizona and for the days and experiences and events and connections that I had lined up. So today, what I wanted to talk about, what I feel really inspired to talk about, is the power of proximity. Now, this is something that I think even before I fully became aware of the power of proximity, I was already putting into practice. And this really kind of magnified really over the last 6 to 9 months. And Matt and I even spoke about this on our first episode we did together, is there's been a lot of magic that has really unfolded for us over the last 6 to 9 months. And I don't want that to come across lightly because it has also taken a lot of hard work and intention and investments and just all around choice that maybe we give up a few dinners with friends or a few weekends away because we would rather put our money, and maybe again this sounds kind of harsh, but we wanted to invest our money and time in other places. And that has been a really big theme for us this past year, both as a couple but even independently, that I was just away with a girlfriend and we invested a lot in terms of what we wanted to do and rooms we wanted to be in. And that's something that Matt and I have also done this past year, and it is very cool to see and feel and experience the outcome of that. So, with the power of proximity in mind, as to what I was just saying, how I feel like I actually have practiced this a little bit earlier, just kind of maybe unintentionally, that probably came from more of like a fan base years ago when I would make choices to go to certain events. And now they come with a very different mindset and what I'm looking to achieve. But I actually heard a friend of mine, Lindsay Schwartz of Powerhouse Women. She's got an excellent podcast. So highly recommend you hop over there and give that one some love and some listens. She was just talking about this recently on an episode of making the choices to invest in places and rooms and events and experiences of people that you want to be around. And this has been so true for me. And it is very exciting to feel the energy that comes from those rooms and the relationships that can blossom. So, my advice to you, if I may do so, and because I feel like it really comes from a heart-centered place because it's something that I haven't focused on doing, and I'm not stopping here, is setting your sights on who do you love? Who do you really admire and respect? Is it someone in your industry? Is it someone that's not in your industry? I mean, hey, we could say I love and respect Beyonce, and I would love to hang out with Beyonce. But hey, honestly, guys, dreams and goals, write them on a list, put them on Post-it notes, and you never know how the universe will align to set yourself up for those dreams and goals. But I would say, with my advice to you, to maybe make a cup of tea or a coffee, light a nice candle, grab a notebook, and spend some time and get really intentional with just writing down a list. Do a really beautiful brain dump of who are people that you love and respect and admire and want to be around, and just let your hand flow. Write it down. I talk often about how I really love pen to paper. I mean, we live in a very technology focused world, and there's a lot that we can do. I mean, I'm talking into a microphone, looking at my laptop, and I'm recording some B-roll on my iPhone. But there's something really powerful about the written form of your intention. So I would write down this list of people that you love and admire and want to spend time with and be around. And then also just kind of do a search and see, where is this person showing up? Are they doing a live podcast recording event? Are they doing a book tour? Do they have a big event that they're hosting? Do they have a small event that they're hosting? Are they a panelist at an event? Are they a keynote speaker at an event? Is it someone that's a musician and they're coming to a concert, and maybe there's like a backstage pass option? And I want to be very clear that some of these opportunities will most definitely come with an investment. And it is up to you to make that choice to see if that's something that feels aligned for you at that time, and putting money down on your dreams and the intentions behind that, who you want to see and who you want to spend time with. And the relationship that could come from that might not come from the first time. It might not even come from the third time. How are you showing up to be in their orbit? And if that people have podcasts, books, how can you show up and provide value for them from afar? Can you share their podcast, their show? Can you share an episode? Can you, first of all, buy their book? Would be a great start. And maybe share their book. Gift it to a friend. Gift it to a lot of friends. Maybe you purchase those books to be the gifts for a mastermind you're running, or an event that you're curating, or a bachelorette weekend away gift bag. If you can show up and have those little doses of value that you're providing for that person that you want to be in their orbit, and how you can provide that value quietly. You never know who's watching, and it might take you a really long time. And this is something that I've done myself. I will continue to do, and I feel really passionately about that. But I also want to make another point that it has to come from a very heart-centered, authentic place. And I know the term authenticity kind of gets thrown around a lot. It's a very high volume word, but there is a way to do these things that come from a really soulful place. And the energy behind that will radiate through. So, kind of tying a bow on all that is just, with this power of proximity, who can you invest in? For lack of a better description, is there something that's coming to your city, town, wherever you are? Maybe you'll have to travel. I have done that. I have done that to different cities. I have done that where I, want to go visit my sister-in-law. She lives in New York City, and we love her. And I will say, I want to come for a girls' weekend. I want to come visit you, just me. But please know that I will be buying you a ticket to come with me to this event. And I want to go and have fun. I want to get there early. I want to soak up all of the event experiences, because I'm really excited to see this person. And this is a real life example. And maybe eventually I will kind of go into greater detail. I feel like there's some magic for it being a little bit more on the, vague example side. But I have done this. I did this 2 summers in a row. And fast forward to this past year, and I have had some incredible interactions with this beautiful leader and successful female entrepreneur that I have admired from afar for years. And I invested in going to New York, spending money on food and drink. I invested in the event ticket and spent time in the city. I soaked up the energy. I bought the VIP ticket. I got the photo op. I would share things online. I'd share things on my Instagram. And then here we are all these years later. There was another event that she would be at, and I was also excited. there was a lot of girls that I love and admire at this event. And just, it reminded me back to these previous summers where I went to New York and invested in the opportunity to see this individual. And it just felt so cool all these years later to, watch her, have a photo with her, have a one-on-one conversation with her, and kind of recognize in the moment that magic and that power of proximity. So I'm excited for you. If there is someone in your life or more than one person, I mean, my gosh, don't put a ceiling on it just being one person. Write that stuff down and put those names on the list. And you never know. I actually have so many examples of this that I get so excited to talk about, and I'm so excited to share with you guys when, of course, the time feels right and there's an aligned story and an example. But you cannot forget these moments. And that is one thing I find myself often thinking about on my own. It's certainly a big conversation between Matt and I that we will look at each other and be like, oh my gosh, this is it. And I'll actually give a shout out to Jen Gottlieb because she was one of the speakers at Girlfriends in Business this past weekend when I was in Arizona. And she had this term, and I started reading her new book, Be Seen, and it's excellent so far. And she has this term that she used at the event this weekend a few times, and it's in her book, called In the Pocket. And it is a moment where you really remember what that moment is. And it could be your wedding day. It could be maybe more specific, like maybe it was the first dance with your husband. Or, I've lost my dad. So the first dance that my dad and I had together, the father-daughter dance, and the song, we danced to the song called I Loved Her First. And it's hard for me to hear actually now, but that is a moment that will, oh my gosh, forever be in the pocket moment. So those things that they can just happen, and you will sit back and refresh that moment multiple times. I would encourage you to do so, because Matt and I find ourselves doing that sometimes, like kind of like little pinch me moments. And they're just so wonderful and so special, but they also come with effort and intention. And I don't want to, pull the wool over your eyes. Sometimes it does come with an investment. But you'll hear some of the great leaders talking about, putting money down on your dreams. My friend Lori Harder, she has a bunch of female investors in her company, and that was a way for her to really get super laser focused on her dream of starting this company, because she has these kind of like accountability partners, and you're investing in your dreams and propelling them forward. And so making investments in rooms you want to be in, people you want to be around, you want to learn from, you want to be friends with, you never know what can happen. So keep that ceiling really high. Maybe pretend it's like a convertible so there is no roof. We're in the topless car with just the wind blowing in your hair, the sun shining, good tunes, and you are thinking about those dreams and those intentions and those people that you are so excited to be around and learn from and maybe be friends with. So that is my really exciting topic today. I was pumped to talk about this. And it's probably a topic I might revisit again, because I just think there is so much magic in it. And even talking about it, I'm talking about the power of proximity, but let's talk about it often and revisit like who you want to be around, who you want to work with, who you want to be friends with, and put it out in the world. Tell your friends. If you're writing that list, maybe share it with a girlfriend or your partner, and compare lists, and you never know what can happen. So my love for you. Thank you so much for being here, for listening. I know I say it in my outro, but if you have a few moments and you would be up for leaving me a 5-star review, some ratings, just some love, I would be so appreciative. This is all new, and as I said, I'm really loving it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm excited. If there's anything that you would love to hear me chat about, me and Matt, we're excited to do more episodes together. So I'm just a DM away. Thank you so much for being here, for your love, for your support. I wish you a wonderful day, night, week, wherever you are. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.